Hi guys, my name's Colin and I'd like to welcome you to this unboxing review of the AC200L, the brand new power station from Bluetti, which will be on sale from March the 13th. As always with Bluetti, their packaging and protection of their boxes it's always first class in my opinion. Nearly every device I've had from them, it's just really good. That was a bit loud. It's really good packaging. Okay, so on with the unboxing. I've taken the straps off, so it's time to get in and open it up. What you're looking at here is one of the first, I believe, in the country to be opened. So thanks for joining my journey and excitement, if I'm honest. And it wouldn't be a Bluetti unboxing without the double packaging. I've got to say, this is really thick. This is really thick packaging. On with the second box. What do we see? First box in, we see the bag of accessories. I'll get to that in a minute. Of course, the important, the user manual, and of course the Bluetti warranty card. Always keep them safe stored in a good place, just in case you need them. Okay, the big unveil is coming. Oh boy. This is good. Okay, so here we are to the back. And the goodness on the front. Let's take this and spin round. As you can see, it's a good weight there. All of the ports that you come to recognise. Three pin plugs. We've got the USB ports here. Power. On the edge, you can see those sockets there. Okay, well, it's only a short video as it's been a long day, so I will do some more videos with a bit more structure and in-depth review, get it powered on so we can see what the first state of charge is, and start enjoying this and share the information with you. Well, thanks for joining me anyway for my first video. It's been fun, it's been emotional, and see you soon. Bye for now, have a good evening. Okay, on to part 2 of this video. So I wanted to do a bit of a kind of a 360 tour of this AC200L, and so I've got it on this kind of a cake platter, so I can actually do a full 360. Just looking in the side here, I can see some pretty heavy duty coils and electronics for sure. Very robust, solid feeling. Sort of back on the previous video. So the battery is 2048 watt hours at 51.2 volts. And it's got a power draw of 2400 watts. It can support an uplifting draw, but that's really only for kind of specific devices. And it's got a power draw of 2400 watts. It can support an uplifting draw, but that's really only for kind of specific devices. So moving on to onto the side where the kind of real things happen. So here we have the AC input from your wall socket, just down here. Okay, 3-pin, and then you've got your DC and PV. Unscrew that, and that's a 2-pin. So that's where you're connecting your cable from your solar power, etc. And the final port on here is obviously quite an important one. So this one is your battery expansion connector. So with this one you can actually connect an additional 2 B300 batteries. You can connect the B210 batteries once they actually become available. They're not currently out at the moment, but it gives you a huge amount of potential in terms of battery storage and what you've got available. I will say I'm going to point out this the AC input, these 3-pin connectors, and I will show you the cables that come in that accessory kit shortly. I'll cut to that in a minute, but the reason I want to point this out is it's to do with the pins are numbered, but on the cable itself it's not very clear. The pin numbers are very small, so I'll try and highlight that to you just so you can see it a bit better. But anyway, so I'll come back round to the front and let's turn this on. What I will say is that I'm super impressed with the quality of this display. It's really bright, nice clear numbers, so that's really nice. So coming from the 180 that I've got, where the screen is quite a bit smaller, it's still a very clear screen, don't get me wrong, but this is nice because it's that much bigger, and I say the numbers are quite bold and clear to read. And also this is the new kind of layout of the screen. So we have in the top left corner DC input, DC output, AC output and AC input. Okay, it also tells us the mode that it's running in eco mode, and currently this is connected to the Wi-Fi, and it shows me an estimated kind of running time on the current charge levels. So I do like these these buttons, which allow us to turn on the individual power circuits itself. So we have the AC here, turn that on, nice clear green, and the symbol in the display here showing AC. We've got USB, which actually shows us DC because it's part of the DC circuit, and then we've got DC for, really this is for the actual DC kind of outputs over here. Now the USB sockets, there are USB-C with a 100 output and a USB-C 100 output. I will be testing those and connecting it to my Mac and concurrently see what kind of draw I get. And also we have some of the more legacy type of USB-A ports, which is kind of really for some of the older devices that you may still have that connector, but they are rated at 3 amps each. But I do like the fact that you can actually leave it so that it's only the USB ports that are on, whereas some of the other models you actually find that you've got to turn the DC on to power the USB, but also then it's powering the DC outputs as well. So maybe that's not quite as efficient, because with at least this model we can actually just turn on these USB-C and USB ports. So to me that's a big thumbs up. I do like that. Press it again to turn it off. Okay, Obviously we've got the four 13-pin outputs, which provides a maximum draw of 2400 watts, 2400 watts, and it's the same as the other AC models, where the two uppers are actually kind of inverted, and it's done that for a design reason, because trying to put in two plugs up here above this, and you're going to have the wires coming down, and actually it may not be seated properly. So the design decision was actually obviously to invert those, so that kind of they actually have a much more solid connection. Nice rubber protectors, slightly different from the others. In fact, that when you close them, they seem to close quite well. Well, I think that's improved. So on the AC500, they tend to kind of just be more out like that, if that makes sense. Whereas these feel a bit more, you can push them home and it looks better. Okay, so at the moment the screen's off. This is kind of in sort of what I call standby mode. And then if I hold it, and this is different, where it actually shows you it's turning it off, and then obviously screen goes off and all good, it's all turned off. Okay, so as promised from yesterday's video, the initial unboxing video, I wanted to show you the accessories that come with the AC200L. So I do like that. It's small things, but the fact it comes in this bag, I've now got, to be honest, I've got a number of these now in my garage, but I keep my cables in there because I know exactly where to find them, and it's really quite handy. I know it's a small thing, but hey, it keeps me happy. So we've got a bunch of cables here, so let's remove this Velcro strap, and I think the first one we'll start with is the AC adapter. So let's now I did charge this up overnight, so I've kind of cheated and put it all back together for this video. So standard 3-pin connector, and then this connector, I need to find out the actual name of it, as I'm not 100% sure. But as you can see, this is the 3-pin that goes into the AC socket down here. Now what I'm going to try and capture this for you, but what I wanted to show you specifically is, so on this connector itself, there's no, in theory, this could be plugged in kind of any way because it's, the 3 pins are equally laid out. But actually, if I can, there you go. So if you see there, you've got number 2 here, number 3 and number 1 on this side. And also this very top, fingernails, this very top sort of ridge is slightly different from these two in the opposite corners. So it's important to note that, to make sure that you don't force this into the connector in the wrong way, so that the pins don't damage the unit. I think what would be useful is actually if there was where you've got this flat edge here, for which is the top, I think if there was a white dot just in here, that would actually be quite useful to signify that that's the top and correct position, rather than trying to fix it in that way and so on, if that makes sense. Okay, so enough about kind of boring cable, but I just thought that's quite important actually. So next cable up, we have our, I think this is actually an XT90 connector. Again, I will double check it and maybe put some text on the screen. So standard cigarette lighter kind of in one end, and what looks like quite a sizable XT90 connector on that end. All right, so that's one. And we have our, again, I'm going to call it XT90 to our PV positive and negative to connect up our solar panels. Okay, this cable actually looks like it's a 4mm type. It's quite thin, but I'm sure it's adequate enough to do the job. And then we have another connector, which is actually, this is a 2-pin going to the XT90, so that would actually connect into the DC PV port. Okay, so in fact, actually, I've just realised what this looks like. So on the PV cables, that is actually a female socket, whereas on this aviation socket and the DC, this end, you can see that that's a female, sorry, that's a male connector. So this gives you the ability to connect those tightly in there. That's quite a nice tight fit, but then that connects into here, into the DC input, and then obviously that can connect up to your solar array. Alternatively, if you're not connecting it to your solar array, you can just unplug and then plug in your car cigarette adapter into the DC, and then that goes into there. Right, so actually quite nice. These do feel good quality cables. These aviation style. It's very thick cabling. Actually, does it say the gauge? It's 14 gauge actually, by the look of this, with a temperature rating of 80 degrees and 300 volts. So quite a chunky cable, but nice to know. Nice to know. Okay, all right. I'll just take a break for now, and add some more videos shortly. Thanks for watching.